Imagine, 30 years ago, your career was destroyed in a crash at 300 kilometers per hour. You lost everything: money, fame, family. Now you live in a van and race on dirt tracks for pennies. And suddenly, an old friend offers you a chance to return to Formula One, where they once called you the greatest who never was. The film F1 is the story of Sonny Hayes, a man who got a second chance to prove he can still race at the limit. The film opens at the 24 Hours of Daytona, where an aging racer named Sonny Hayes competes among the drivers. He's already over 50, but behind the wheel, he's still dangerous. Sonny delivers a phenomenal race and leads Chip Hart's team to victory. After the finish, the team owner offers him a full contract for next season with good money. Sonny shakes his head and drives away in his battered van, which serves as his home and only possession. This is his life now, a wandering pilot without a home or attachments. Once, in the early 90s, Sonny Hayes was Formula One's rising star. They called him the future world champion, but in 1993 at the Spanish Grand Prix, a terrible accident occurred. The car turned into a fireball in front of millions of viewers. Sonny survived, but a back injury ended his career that same day. Over 30 years he hit rock bottom. 3 failed marriages, gambling addiction, debts to dangerous people. He lives in a van and moves from track to track, racing anywhere for any money. In a laundromat, an old acquaintance approaches him, Ruben Cervantes. They were once teammates. Now Ruben owns the APXGP team in Formula One, and he has serious problems. Team APXGP balances on the edge of complete collapse. For the entire season, they haven't earned a single point, and the owner is already looking for a buyer. Ruben needs at least one winning position at a Grand Prix, or the team will be sold and people will lose their jobs. They have a talented young driver, Joshua Pierce, but talent alone isn't enough in this brutal sport. Ruben offers Sonny the second driver position. Sonny laughs in his face at first. He left Formula One forever and closed that chapter. But Ruben plays on old loyalty, reminding him how they were brothers on the track. Sonny can't refuse an old friend who once pulled him from a burning car. He agrees, understanding this might be the last stupid decision of his life. Sonny flies to Silverstone track, where he meets the team. Technical director Kate McKenna, a tough woman with a sharp mind, team principal Kasper Smolinski, a Polish veteran with iron nerves, chief mechanic Dodge Dauda, a guy with golden hands, and the team's main star, 22-year-old Joshua Pierce. Joshua is a typical young modern star, self-confident, cocky, obsessed with social media and followers. He immediately writes Sonny off, an old man from the last century who should retire. Sonny looks at this upstart and sees a reflection of himself 30 years ago, only with much less respect for the craft. Sonny sits behind the wheel of a modern car, and it's like switching from a cart to a spaceship. Technology has advanced incredibly far. DRS systems, hybrid engines, computerized controls. In the first laps, he's hopelessly behind qualifying time. Joshua watches from the sidelines with a smirk. The old man can't handle it. But then something clicks in Sonny's head. Muscle memory returns. He begins to understand the car and presses the pedal harder. Sonny tries to take a too tight turn at extreme speed and flies off the track. The car crashes into the barrier and stops in a cloud of smoke. Kasper pulls him from the cockpit, and instead of apologizing, Sonny starts pointing out flaws in the car's setup. Despite the expensive crash, Kasper sees fire in his eyes. This old man can still race. The season's first race starts well, but the pit stop crew works too slowly. Joshua snaps at one of the mechanics, a girl named Jody. Sonny stands up for her, but Jody sharply asks him not to interfere. After the race, Sonny approaches Kate with an offer to grab a beer and discuss creating a car that can aggressively attack in races. Kate looks at him like he's an idiot and refuses. She considers Sonny a selfish old-school racer who only plays for himself. Meanwhile, at home, Joshua studies old recordings of Sonny's races and watches the video of that fatal 1993 crash. For the first time, he begins to understand what this man went through. At the Hungarian Grand Prix, Sonny causes a scandal at the pit stop, demanding specific tires and refusing to go out without them. This delays the entire team, but Casper eventually gives in. Then Sonny deliberately crashes his car, using Formula One rules. When there's an accident, safety cars come out, slowing all races. This gives APXGP a chance to regroup and earn precious points. Dirty tactics, but they work. Gradually, Sonny begins to change the team from within. He works with the pit stop crew, speeding up their work by fractions of a second. Kate observes these changes and begins to change her opinion of the old racer. One late evening, they're alone in the garage talking about car settings. Sonny explains his vision, a weapon car that can attack on every turn. Kate begins to understand his philosophy and gradually falls in love with him. A connection arises between them, and despite protests about professionalism, they spend the night together. Joshua is also changing before everyone's eyes. He starts staring at his phone less and listening to Sonny's advice more. The old man teaches him to read the race, not just push the gas. He teaches patience, tactics, understanding the car at an instinct level. Mid-season, Peter Lambton appears, CEO of the corporation that owns the controlling stake in APXGP. He offers Sonny a huge contract if he leaves Ruben's team for a more prestigious one. Sonny refuses without thinking. He's here out of loyalty to an old friend. Enraged, Peter begins pressuring the team, accusing Kate of serious technical regulation violations. The FIA starts an investigation with the threat of disqualification. If the accusations are confirmed, Kate will lose her license forever, and the team will be kicked out of the championship. This is pure blackmail. Peter is trying to destroy the team from within to force Ruben to sell it for pennies. The team plunges into crisis. Ruben is on the verge of a breakdown. APXGP risks not making the season's final race. The season's last race arrives, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix under the desert's evening lights. Peter makes a final offer to Sonny right before qualifying. Sonny responds with a middle finger emoji and blocks his number. At the last moment, the FIA announces investigation results and completely clears all accusations against Kate. The team is cleared to race. The starting lights go out, and the cars tear away in the roar of engines. Joshua shows a phenomenal race on worn tires, holding position as long as possible, but at the end, he's overtaken by Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, real Formula One stars playing themselves in the film. Sonny takes an insane risk and provokes a collision with George Russell, another real driver. Both fly off the track but return to the race. At an emergency pit stop, both Sonny and Joshua get fresh tires. Joshua has a real chance at victory, but he miscalculates the trajectory and collides with Hamilton. Both cars fly off the track. Now the team's only chance is Sonny. Sonny races toward the finish at the absolute limit. His vision begins to blur. The old back injury makes itself known at the worst possible moment. Sharp pain pierces his entire body with every turn, but he doesn't slow down for a second. The finish line approaches, the last turn, the last acceleration. Sonny crosses it first, ahead of competitors by fractions of a second. Team APXGP literally explodes with joy in the pit. For the first time all season, they've won a real Grand Prix. The team is saved from sale, and Peter Lambton can't take it. Joshua receives an offer from Mercedes, one of Formula One's most prestigious teams, but refuses and stays at APXGP. Sonny's lessons about loyalty didn't go to waste. Sonny makes his final decision and ends his career right now, after winning the Grand Prix. This time by his own choice, not because of an accident. He proved to himself and the whole world that he was worthy of the title of greatness. The team celebrates victory in the pit. Ruben embraces his old friend with gratitude, Kate looks at Sonny with pride and love, and Joshua shakes his hand with true respect of student to master. The film F1 ends with unique footage from real Grand Prix races. Brad Pitt actually drove a Formula 2 car at legendary Silverstone between real races, with real fans in the stands. This is a story not just about racing and speed, but about the second chance life sometimes gives us. About how it's never too late to prove to the world and yourself what you're capable of. About how experience and wisdom are sometimes more important than youth and speed. Sonny Hayes is no longer the greatest who never was. Now he's simply the greatest, and he left on his own terms, like a true champion. The engines roar one last time, the flag drops, the race is over. Sonny Hayes crossed the finish line, not only on the track, but in his life.